What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 3 team builder for Red. This week we are taking on ZackT and the Nimrod Ninetales. He has a very interesting team, so let's run through it. He has Greninja, which is his user, Kyurem, Mega Diancie, Nidoking, Magnezone, Slowbro, Talonflame. Hitmontop is his other user, Aselgor, and Gogoat. Greninja is Torrent only. It was actually his first pick. It was a little bit odd, but there you go. He's got priority in Greninja with Water Shuriken, Nidoking with Sucker Punch, Hitmontop with Fake Out and Sucker Punch, and Mach Punch, and Aselgor with Water Shuriken, so he has both Water Shuriken users on the same team. He has Hazard setting in Greninja with Spikes and Toxic Spikes, Mega Diancie with Stealth Rock, Nidoking with Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes, and Aselgor with Spikes and Toxic Spikes. So he has 3 different T-Spike users, and 2 different Spikes, and 2 different Stealth Rockers. It's kind of an improvement. I believe he dropped something for the Mega Diancie and the Magnezone. I can't remember what exactly he dropped, actually. Let me look it up while I'm on the subject. So he dropped Espeon, Klefki, Alolan Raichu, and Mega Sharpedo for Mega Diancie, Magnezone, and Slowbro. Which I think are good ideas, considering we had to Mega First Turn. Mega Sharpedo is pretty bad in that format. Espeon was a nice Magic Bouncer, and he made up for that with the Mega Diancie Magic Bounce. And he already had 2 Spikers, so he didn't need Klefki. And he picked up a better Fairy and a better Steel. And Alolan Raichu is only doing things against Tapu Koko teams most of the time, and he actually grabbed himself a bulky water, which is helpful. So his team is still extremely frail, but we'll talk about the rest of his team, because he's got removal options in Talonflame with Defog and Hitmontop with Rapid Spin. That's really bad removal, by the way. And he has 4 times weaknesses in Mega Diancie to Steel, Magnezone to Ground, and Talonflame to Rock. So why I say it's bad removal is Talonflame's never going to be able to get a Defog off because it's 4 times weak to Rock. It's not a good defogger because it can't come in on them safely, and Hitmontop running Rapid Spin every single game is not necessarily something you want to do. It can do it, but you don't really want to bring Hitmontop to every single game either. It's great that he does have Spin with all of his Spikers and T-Spikers, though. I appreciate that aspect, that's for sure. So in terms of his team, I don't think Slowbro and Gogoat are coming. Those are the only 2 that I'm a little bit skeptical of. I think Vikavolt matches up extremely well against his team, and that's why I'm a little bit, I'd be a little bit surprised if Slowbro came, and Bisharp and things like that. Slowbro could come. It's very much a maybe for me. I do believe that it could come, and Gogoat is the other Mon that I don't think is coming. It very well could, but again, Buzzwole kind of just beats it 1v1, which is unfortunate. Dragalge smacks it with Sludge Waves, Vikavolt smacks it with Bug Buzzes, Salazzle beats it with both dual stabs, so Grass doesn't really match up fantastically. Grass doesn't match up very well against my team, so I'm not sure if he's going to bring that. Greninja, Kyurem, Mega Diancie, Nidoking, Magnezone, Talonflame, Hitmontop, and Aselgor. Excuse me, I think most of those are coming. He can only pick 6, so he drafted 10, so he's got to drop at least 4, which makes it a little bit less scary, especially if things like the Kyurem don't come. Kyurem is a big threat. If things like the Aselgor don't come, then I have less to worry about hazard stacking wise, so that's all there. So let's start with my team then. I'm bringing a specially defensive Miltank with Thick Bat. This checks the Kyurem really well. I can eat Ice Beams for days, and this Kyurem doesn't get Terravolt, and I don't know why. I didn't even think about it, but right? But Terravolt goes through Thick Fat. So I brought Thick Fat Miltank against Kyurem Black in week 1, completely forgetting that it was the dumbest move ever. This one doesn't get Terravolt, so I can actually check this one. Thick Fat is also going to help against the Talonflame if he locks himself into Flare Blitz at any point, which actually does look okay against the rest of my squad, because I'm not bringing Alomomola. And why are you not bringing Alomomola, you may ask? Well, honestly, it's setup fodder for things like the Mega Diancie, which I'm really scared about, like a rock polished Mega Diancie. It could be setup fodder potentially for a bulk up Talonflame, but Alomomola didn't look awful this game. I'm just a little bit scared about giving Magnezone free Volt Switch momentum, and I really needed the offensive pressure, because as you can see, he doesn't have a lot of bulk. Like, he's relying on Slowbro, Hitmontop, and Gogoat for all of his bulk. Gogoat and Hitmontop aren't probably going to come to every single match. Neither is Slowbro. Slowbro is actually active week 2, and he didn't even bring it to his week 2 match. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he just thought that it didn't have a great matchup. But yeah, so I really don't know. I really have to play the offensive game against him, which kind of sucks because my team is really bulky, and I sort of rely on more bulk. But he's got really good wall breakers in the Nidoking, the Kyurem, and the Mega Diancie, and the Magnezone, so I need to play around that. Stealth Rocks are going to be really important. I need to get rocks up for the Kyurem and the Talonflame. The problem is that he's got Mega Diancie to Magic Bounce them back, and I'd really rather keep rocks off my side of the field, so they may not get clicked, but they are important. Pardon me. I'm mono Earthquake, so I can't hit the Talonflame, but what I can do is Toxic the Talonflame and then Milk Drink up all the damage that the Talonflame's doing, unless he starts to set up on me, but then the Toxic is still going to be fine. So, yeah, that is the Miltank set, completely specially defensive. That's, I mean, honestly, Earthquake hits everything bar Talonflame on his team, and Go-Goat, and Aselgor, and I'd rather Toxic the Go-Goat, and I don't really want to deal with the Aselgor with anything, but I do have a better switch into Aselgor later. Next up is Elefante. We're bringing an Assault Vest Donphan with Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Rock Slide, and Knockoff. Rapid Spin is important because he's got a lot of these Spikes and T-Spikes users. I'd really love to just get rid of those hazards. And I'm not actually bringing Defog on the Comfy, which is the only defogger that I could be bringing, so I'm bringing removal on this. What else do I have that gets defog? Actually, Comfy is the only defogger, isn't it? I kind of didn't draft super well around removal, but Donphan's reliable removal, so we'll leave it at that. Earthquake, again, it hits his whole team really well. Rock Slide is there for the Talonflame, and Knockoff is there for the Go-Goat. If he does bring Go-Goat, I would imagine Go-Goat's to switch into this thing, so I can get a knockoff on to anything that I want. And again, we're specially defensive, so not really eating physical hits, but Donphan has such good natural physical bulk that this can be our switch into Talonflame as well. Potentially with the Rock Slide there. It should one-shot Talonflame, just because of the base 120 attack. So we're bringing Bring Webs, please, bringing Bisharp. Originally, this was a Scarf Bisharp, and I actually decided to go against the Scarf this time. I think this could be an interesting win con if hazards aren't up on my side of the field, and Zach hasn't been prioritizing hazards in either of his games yet, so I think that it's reasonably safe to assume that hazards either won't be up on my side of the field or I can spin them away reliably. So Focus Sash, Rock Polish Bisharp is going to be really fun. Once I get a Rock Polish up and his team's weakened, then this goes absolutely ham. Bisharp is a really strong Pokemon. It's got a really good base attack, and nothing wants to deal with this as long as Hitmontop is gone or not around. That's the only thing that threatens me with like a Mach Punch, and I actually can't touch it very well. I do have the Iron Head there for the Mega Diancie, the Kyurem, the Nidoking. It's going to do the best against. It's going to do the best against the Go-Goat and the Aselgor. Pardon me. Knockoff is there for the Slowbro and the Talonflame, and whatever else wants to lose an item. Brick Break is there for the Greninja and the Magnezone, and that's about all it's going to do. If he chooses to bring like Screens Kyurem, then Brick Break is going to be helpful there. I'm always hesitant with Screens Mons because they can be such a pain in the ass. And he did bring Workup Greninja in week 2, and so if he brings another Workup Greninja behind Screens, that could be pretty scary. We are running enough speed on here so that before Rock Polish, we're outspeeding Magnezone. After the Rock Polish, we should be able to outspeed everything on his team, except like Scarf Talonflame, Scarf Greninja running a ton of speed, which is entirely possible. I actually do think that Scarf Greninja could be a thing, because he can't outspeed Mega Alakazam with anything, but he can Scarf Greninja and then like do things with Night Slash. Physical Greninja would be better against my team, I think, except for the Alomomola. Like, I don't know. Maybe Special is better just because I have good physical walls, but it's not going to be able to break through Mega Alakazam as easily. We're bringing Lade, Comfy, making its season debut as well. Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Hidden Power, Ground, and Synthesis. Calm Mind, Draining Kiss does a lot of work to most of his team. His resistances to this are the Magnezone and the Nidoking, both of which are weak to the Hidden Power Ground, so we got that there. We're also going to naturally outspeed both of them, but I'm actually not outspeeding either of them, which I just realized I should maybe change that to at least outspeed max speed Life Orb Nidoking so that I can get an HP ground off after some boosts. I think I'm going to do that. So we'll take away some HP investment maybe, or we'll take away some defense investment, I guess. What are we trying to hit? 296. Do I need to be timid for that? I think I can run max speed Modest actually. 296. Oh, it doesn't even have to be max speed Modest. So there's a new spread. We're running a lot of speed for the Nidoking now, and I'm just going to make a note on my prep doc that Comfy outspeeds Nidoking now. Nidoking. I totally overlooked that when I was actually making the team in prep, but that's a pretty good idea to make the speed a little bit higher there. So we're boosting up with Calm Mind. I'm a little bit defensive, less defensive now, but his team in general is very specially offensive, so I've teched around a lot of special defensive stuff going on now. Again, Synthesis is priority healing with Triage as well as Draining Kisses. So Draining Kiss is going to go before any priority that he has, and that includes Talonflame's Gale Wings. So I can break his Gale Wings pretty easily. This is my way to break through Hitmontop. I can also switch in on Hitmontop very easily. Bullet Punch is not doing a whole lot to me, and I can obviously just... Draining Kiss is going to go before Bullet Punch as well, so I can kind of just set up on the Hitmontop over and over and over again. Yeah, and once I get enough Calm Minds up, Magnezone isn't a threat with Flash Cannon anymore, and Greninja could still be a threat with like Gunk Shot, but Draining Kiss is going to one-shot it once I'm set up enough, so there you go. That's the Comfy. Comfy is a big threat to his team. Actually, this is likely going to be my win con. Not the Rock Polish Bisharp necessarily, this could be more of a mid-game breaker, but the Comfy, the Calm Mind Comfy is going to be such a huge threat to his team, honestly. He can't bring anything that's unaware, so once I get set up and Draining Kisses go off, then I'm solid. If he's Scarf Nidoking, he's not killing me with a Sludge Wave. Actually, I don't even think Life Orb Nidoking is killing me with a Sludge Wave based on how naturally Spadef Comfy is, but Scarf Nidoking definitely isn't. I ran the calc for Scarf Nidoking and it's not killing me, so I can HP grind on that and then Draining Kiss on everything else. So this is going to be a real threat to his team, and he won't have a great way to deal with it. Next up is Mega Alakazam. We're bringing a substitute Mega Alakazam. I figured this was the best way for me to sort of deal with his team, because he does have a lot of fast, offensive, powerful threats against my Mega Alakazam, right? So we're bringing sub because I can threaten something out like Nidoking. Something like Nidoking gets absolutely threatened out by a Psychic, right? And so if I come in on the Nidoking and I can click sub, then I get 2 kills, because whatever's coming in, I can hit, or I can get 2 chances with Focus Blast if he chooses to go into like Assault Vest Magnezone or something like that, right? Then I get 2 chances, or I get 2 Focus Blasts off on the Magnezone and my sub's still up. So if I sub on his switch, then I get 2 hits off, which is going to be huge because Mega Alakazam is a massive wall breaker, and that's kind of what I need because he doesn't have a lot of good recovery. He's relying on Roost on Kyurem, Slack Off on Slowbro, and Milk Drink on Go-Goat and Roost on Talonflame. Those are his recovery options. So his main wall breakers, besides the Kyurem, don't get recovery, and that's what Mega Alakazam's job is to weaken those and take out offensive threats, because I can deal with the defensive mons with things like Miltank, I can deal with them with the Comfy really easily, things like that. So that's Mega Alakazam with the sub. Psychic is just really good stab. It's going to Oko Nidoking. Most of the time, I don't know if it Oko's Assault Vest Nidoking. It's going to Oko Hitmontop as well. It's going to be my best move to hit things like the Talonflame and the Acelgor. I've got Focus Blast on there primarily for the Magnezone, but it's also going to be able to hit the Greninja if I really need to rely on that damage. And then I've got Energy Ball on there just as a better option to hit the Greninja. Excuse me, I couldn't think of a better move to put there besides like Recover, but I don't really see myself clicking Recover like I could against Bill. So Energy Ball is going to hit the Mega Diancie for more reliable damage. It's going to hit the Slowbro for more reliable damage, and the Greninja for more reliable damage too. If he brings the Go-Goat, I got to watch out for Sap Sipper, but I don't know if he would scout the Energy Ball against Greninja. Like, I could probably just Oko it. We're running a lot of speed on Mega Alakazam, and I figured it's probably worth my time to actually add speed to Selgor this match, just because it could come in and revenge kill me if he's like a Specs to Selgor. So I figured it was probably worth my time to actually run that. This is likely going to be one of the only games you ever see me run Timid Mega Alakazam, just because he's so, like, a Selgor is so fast. So in Mega form, we're actually hitting 428 with the speed investment, which outspeeds the Selgor by 1 point. Max special attack, tiny bit of HP investment. And last but not least, we're bringing Choice Scarf, Salazzle, Samantha's coming with Fire Blast, Sludge Wave, HP Steel, and Dragon Pulse. Fire Blast revenge kills a lot of his team, bar Slowbro and Mega Diancie, pretty much. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Sludge Wave is there to hit the Go-Goat for super effective damage if I absolutely need it. Sludge Wave is also really good neutral damage once Magnezone is dead. Sludge Wave hits a lot of stuff. HP Steel is there specifically for the Mega Diancie. I don't know if it's going to switch in, but I could revenge kill it with an HP Steel. And Dragon Pulse is there to revenge kill the Kyurem or revenge a sub or something like that. We're running enough speed on here to outrun Mega Diancie, and then I'm running max special attack, a little bit of HP investment. So that is the team to take on ZackT and the Nimrod Ninetales. We play him in week 3, and I will catch you guys